Hooty hoo, everybody.
Hooty hoo, everyone, on TikTok Live and on our YouTube. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do that for us, please. It takes like 2 seconds. Make sure you like the video as well. I have a little list here.
She's got a list
that I compiled, and we all know Mindy and her lists. I have about 7 freaking different notebooks. So basically, I wrote down a list for us because this week is actually a really big week for horror itself.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff coming out right now. Everyone's going to say, yeah, we know Beetlejuice. I'm not really going to call Beetlejuice a horror movie. It's on here, but it's PG.
Yeah.
I mean, Tim Burton even came out and said that it was meant for younger kids.
Oh, it's got Jenna Ortega's in it, so it's a horror movie.
I think Jenna's going to do well in it, but Jenna's the complete opposite. She wears bright clothing and everything. She is the complete opposite of what she normally is. She doesn't wear black. She doesn't have her hair up. She doesn't do any of her normal shit.
It's a movie that I'm actually looking forward to. So.
I know, so I won't ruin it for you. But we got Daniel's girl, Brandy, that was in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. She is doing a piece called The Front Room. It's going to be more psychological than anything. And then we're going to have red rooms underneath it. Now, the ones that I'm about to go over after red rooms are only in select theaters. So chances are you guys aren't going to be able to see them. But at least you know they're out there and they exist.
Yeah.
And other than red rooms, that'll be The Demon Disorder.
Right.
I'm a little excited for that one. Don't Turn Off the Lights, which is going to be a little weird. And then Fresh Hell. They're going to end their trilogy that they have going with something called Wolves at Midnight.
Yeah.
So that's your horror news.
All right.
That's your news.
We're gathered here today to do a little piece Mindy recommended called Goodnight Light, which is low budge.
This movie could not be any more low budget. How the hell it ended up on Hulu it blows my mind, because that's where I first found this piece, was Hulu.
Yeah.
Blows my mind.
It blows mine.
That, like, I actually liked it, and I thought it was good, because I'm so sorry, you guys, everyone I recommended it. It's not a good movie.
It's not great.
Y'all we need to putting up our bootstraps. And,
it's butt cheeks.
Yeah.
On first watch, I was starting to dig it a little bit, too. It comes from director Jeffrey Bruck, writer Roger Rohrer, and it stars Sarah Fleming, Tenley Stitzer, and Michael Lake. Now,
I know Sarah Fleming, the girl that played Rachel / her other one. And she was actually the reason I even put on the movie, because I wanted to see her in a horror movie. And she did okay for what she was meant to do.
She was one of the better actors in the movie, but...
Yeah, like you could tell she actually had some experience, unlike everyone else who looked like they were just there for a slumber party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like a lot of the other roles. Whoever the mean girl was, I wasn't a huge fan of her.
Her name was Lexi.
Was it Lexi?
Henley Stiltzer, yeah.
Is that Lexi?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think Lexi was great. I mean, she was obviously
an ass. She tried. It's just she was a typical mean girl.
I was more of a Genetica fan, or Genetica.
Her name is Genetica.
Genetica.
It's like she said, the one guy, Dean. Her parents couldn't decide on Jennifer or Jessica.
Yeah.
So they just put one together. Yeah. So, and she is a resident lesbian. She's the girls.
I like how you blended those two together.
Thank you. With Sarah, they all have boyfriends. All of these girls are very, very close. We already discussed Lexi and Jennifer. Well, Rachel. Sorry, I thought her name was Jennifer. That's my bad. Rachel, and then who else? Hannah, who's like a little kid.
Yeah.
Who's like, she doesn't want to be there at all. She's actually hating it. But her parents do not trust her to be alone anymore.
Yeah.
So, and Jenica was played by Aurora Shields. No idea who she is. I don't even think she has a history. Ashley Seitz was played by she did Hannah, and Hannah was the little one that needed to come. Wait, what? Young. Never mind. And they had ones for the younger ones. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, you have these girls. You have Rachel, Jenica, Lexi, and Carmen. They are the future Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Is what they call themselves. They're all extremely tight. And they're all been together since they were kids, except for Rachel, which we don't find that out until a little bit later. Then we find out that, holy shit, Rachel just started hanging out with them like 6 months ago. Because I think Lexi says it, or one of them says it when they're playing Never Have I Ever. One of them says, well, you've only been a part of our family for a couple of months.
Yeah.
So it was really weird, but it was an okay movie.
It was alright.
It was all right. I mean, honestly, I feel a little ashamed that I suggested. Just a little bit of shame you see me going through right now.
I thought it was a bit mediocre at best, but I didn't. There's
no more good ones.
There's no more good ones. We've done them all. It sucked. We'll do a good one next week. There's a lot of there are some scenes that I really did enjoy.
Did you know?
Yeah, there is. There's a couple I liked. It's gonna be hard to think of them, but fucking ads on Amazon. Yeah. But Dean, when we find out that Dean's the killer, and he first of all, the scene where he stabs the one chick in the stomach multiple times, I thought it was very gruesome. I thought it was a good kill.
Oh, Carmen.
I think he killed.
Yeah, but you don't know it's him yet. You just see an arm.
Yeah, and it's like kind of the first kill in the movie.
It is,
and it's like an hour in too, so it tells you.
Technically, it's the second kill, because technically, in the very beginning, you do get a kill.
Yeah.
At the very beginning of the movie, like 5 seconds in, you get a kill. So, but then Daniel is right. You do have to wait an hour for someone else to bite the dust.
And
but that just goes to show how much planning and whatnot their little plan had, and how their plan was so intricate and everything. Like, they had a reason for everything.
Yeah, they did.
Had an answer for everything. I feel like if they would have tried to do this any sooner, I don't think it would have worked.
I agree. I think, but waiting an hour and there's so much bad acting. Like the one scene with the short dude chopping an onion really pissed me off.
You let Mike go, okay? It is
know.
not Mike's fault that he's a lying, cheating, stealing, cannot cut up onions having man. It's not his fault.
He's a short king.
I won't call him a short king. I would just say short.
He's a short ass. He's a short piece. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but anybody that can screw someone and then go right back into their bed with their significant other, you're a scumbag.
You're a scumbag. You're a scumbag.
Just like if I were to do it, I would call myself a scumbag. Even if he were to do it, I would call him a scumbag.
Yeah.
It's not okay. It's something that you don't do. It's not something you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Cameron was the first one to bite the dust. I, however, really liked Dean, the way that he handled Jenica when he stumbled across her after holding her foot.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my God. And like he's acting like he's actually bleeding and something's really going on. And she's like, oh my God, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, it's not my blood. Like it just came from out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And you weren't seeing it happening. I mean, I had a little bit of an insight that it wasn't his blood just because it started to be very Foxtrap-like.
Yeah. It did become like that a little bit.
So I think Foxtrap did it better.
It did get Foxtrappy.
Yeah. I will have to say that between the two, I think Foxtrap did it better.
100%.
Yeah. I think they did it better. So
This couldn't wipe Foxtrap's ass.
see, I kind of liked it and he hated it. So that's why he's like, that was ass, because he didn't like it.
I like it.
And normally it's kind of an insult for us when one likes it and the other one doesn't, because it's like, why do you like it? But he does the same thing to me. Oh, I did forget this one quick little thing of news. Daniel's very favorite Friday the 13th, the Corey Feldman one, is coming to theaters
Worldwide
because of its 40th anniversary.
Oh.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh
I just read it. So, yeah. Mostly Regal theaters are the ones that are honoring it. But, yeah. I mean, it'd be cool to go see it.
Nice.
Daniel would get to see Corey Feldman on the big screen.
Well, Corey Feld. I love me some Corey Feldman. I love me some Friday Part 4, and we might have to go see that in the theaters. And then we'll review it again.
We probably.
I need an excuse to talk about that. Yeah, this movie did a lot of things bad, but it did a couple things good. And I thought the kills were one of the things. When you find out that Dean's the killer and he fucks up Genetica, and he
You're having a hard time with that name.
I just love it. It's just my favorite thing about the movie. It's her name.
Genetica.
Genetica.
She's out of here. All right, just go ahead.
Jenica. So Jenica fucking.
There you go. What, does it not feel right to you?
No, I like Genetica.
God, just pronounce it the way you want to. It's Genetica now. We redid her movie.
She when she gets offed, I think it's it's a good scene. And when he kind of like snaps the old necky poo, and then he goes over and when he the mean girl, what's her name again?
Lexi.
When Lexi puts the knife to his throat, and she figured out that he's a fucking dickhead, and then you get in the backstory how he was her nurse, the girl, and but she goes up and takes the knife and slits his throat. That's one of the best.
That's some teamwork.
Yeah, and he did not see that coming, and neither did I. And I think that's one of the better scenes.
I don't think Lexi even saw it coming, and she had her hand on the knife.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone saw the fact that this other girl was going to come up and help her cut him across the throat.
Yeah, I agree.
And like, now you did teamwork. Good job. Like. And it's really weird, honestly. I'm glad they told us who her character was.
Yeah.
Because she was just really weird. Like when Jenica was out of bed and she's like, what are you doing out of bed? Or like when she tucks him in and she's like, don't worry, I'll be your mommy tonight. Like, that's weird.
That is weird shit.
That is weird. That's not something that you say to your friends.
Yeah.
That's just not something that is ever said to your friend. I mean, I didn't have many friends, but I wasn't going to say that to them.
You weren't saying that shit.
No. So, I mean, and she was just very motherly, and I understand taking on the motherly role in your friend group. I've done it before too, but there's a difference between calling somebody honey and sweetie and then tramping around the house in Uniqlo pajamas. Just saying.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, she was straight up wearing like little kids' clothing. Yeah. And they still didn't get it. And it's like, really? Like,
they should have got it.
Like, even she said as soon as Lexi actually figured it out, she's like, yeah, she knows my name.
Yeah.
So, like, she was gone. And, like, when Lexi even said, like, you're psychotic, and she's like, I might be, but I ain't going that way. You sent me there.
Yeah.
So, and to get to the backstory of it, it's because when this girl who we're talking about, Rachel, her name is actually Emma. And when Emma moved in to the neighborhood of Lexi, Carmen, and Jenica,
yeah,
she was quickly befriended by them, or she thought befriended by them. And she had a sleepover with all of them. And Lexi decided to be Lexi. And she wrote her a magic spell and gave her a knife and told her it's a special tool and said, if you really want to get your daddy back, you need to stab your mother with this tool 13 times. And then she'll be able to leave her body and go get your dad and come back.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, But this is a group of 12-year-old kids. I would have believed that when I was that little.
No, you
Honestly.
wouldn't have. You wouldn't have killed. No,
I wouldn't have killed anybody.
No.
But I would have believed the story. I wouldn't have killed anyone. But I still would have believed it. It's a believable story.
It's
like
not.
the Slender Man story.
You don't kill anybody to bring anybody back. That's common fucking sense. These girls were being twats. And
Well, she was stupid.
You talk about a prank. Like when I saw the description for this movie, I'm like, oh, it's a nice little prank. Maybe they put pie on her face or something. It's like, no, they tell her to kill her mom. That's not a prank. That's fucking murder.
They weren't expecting her to do it.
Yeah, but who puts that in the air? Why do you want her to fucking, ooh? Like, let's fuck with her today. Let's get her to kill her mom. Like, it's not like let's fucking trip her in the hallway, you know?
No, but I mean, Jenica and Carmen didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah, well, Jenica, poor Jenica.
I know. All Jenica wants is Lexi's love and attention.
Poor Jenica was trying her best. And she fucked Mark. Didn't she?
It's Mike. And yes, she did. For the
Mike?
last time, it's Mike and Hannah.
Oh, Mike and Hannah. Well, she banged Mike. And Jenica was living that life. And then she got
And
bounced.
I like the one guy, Owen, who's dated Lex, even says, Jenica, you're like the world's worst lesbian.
Yeah.
Because she's like supposed to be the one that like you trust your boyfriend with.
The dialogue in this is like,
It's
it's stroke-inducingly bad. It's so awful. None of them, I mean, no offense. Like, I don't, like a young actor following their dreams, good for you if you're trying your best, you know. We're all trying our best. Maybe you think this show sucks. And you know what? Maybe I do suck. But I think that they sucked. And I really, to be completely honest, the dialogue had me out of it completely. Besides that, the script, the movie was not terrible. And it had some good beats to it. It had some good kills to it. There was things I liked about it. But every time someone says something, it seems like somebody like pulled off the street. It seems like me trying to act in a movie. It does not feel like an actor fucking doing. And I know they're not all going to be blockbusters. All right, I know we're not.
Matthew McConaughey was off the street.
And look at how well he turned out.
Never had an acting class.
And he's probably the most decisive or like divisive. Yeah, divisive is the word I'm looking for. Actor in the history of Hollywood, where half of people love him, half of people.
So did Kevin Bacon. He never had an acting class either.
Well, everybody loves Kevin Bacon. That's definitely. But everybody loves Kevin Bacon. And no performance had me like, oh. Like the main character, she did okay. The one who killed her mom.
Yeah.
She did all right. Both actresses, the one that played the young her and the one that played old her, they did okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else shit the bed in my perspective.
I agree.
Everybody else, when they went to talk, it was like, I don't know. It felt like a drama club thing. It didn't feel like a real movie.
I agree.
But everything else about it, I thought it had potential to go somewhere. Even with low, like you don't need a lot of money in horror to make something great. I just don't think like something you look at Blood and Honey and like they made 100,000 fucking look like something, even if you hate that movie. It's got a certain aura to it.
I mean, they did so well that they had Blood and Honey 2. It's already out, and they're actually about to come up with a prequel called Piglet. So.
There's a whole universe.
Yeah. So, and some of it's separate, though. Like, the stuff that's going on with Mickey Mouse right now, like Mickey Mouse Mousetrap and shit, that has nothing to do with
the Blood and Honey
universe. That's not, or what people are calling the Pooniverse. It's not. Yeah.
The Pooniverse.
Yeah. We've sunk low.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have horror fans trying name franchises. We get that.
You get complete and utter butt cheeks. All right, man. Favorite kill in this thing?
Okay, so my favorite kill has to be Dean.
Yeah.
Because I did not see that coming.
No.
And not at all. I mean, normally, number one thing a person's going to do is make sure that their accomplice is alive or not, just to make sure that the accomplice gets what they want to get done. I mean, you're never really going to see somebody come up and help you murder their accomplice and be like, yeah, good job.
Yes.
That's not going to happen ever. So that had shock value for me. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good one.
What was yours?
Probably the girl getting stabbed in the stomach, and then her body later on, like you see her like her.
More and Carmen.
Yeah, Carmen. And the way she, like, it kind of goes back to when they find her later on. It's like,
yeah, because all he did was just set her back up where she's been sitting the entire damn time. Like, she's been sitting there for about 30 minutes now. So all he had to do when he killed her was just set her up the same way. They still thought she was alive.
Exactly. I thought it really worked. I enjoyed parts of this movie. Is there any big story beat you want to get into more before we do final thoughts?
Not really. I mean, I would recommend this to somebody that likes revenge movies.
Yes.
Definitely. I would not recommend this to everyone, but I will say that this is probably a piece I would let, like, if you're teenagers into horror, I would let them watch this. It's not that bad.
Yeah. No, I can co-sign that. I don't think it's something, besides some of the, like the 2 kills we just mentioned, for a kid to watch is pretty heavy. But besides that.
But, like, if they're a teenager and they're already getting into horror and whatnot, then, I mean, this is a better thing to introduce them to than, like, The Conjuring. That's going to scare their asses off or something.
I agree. Well, a rating? You get a rating for it?
I would have to give it about 5 magic books.
Okay. Magic books out of 10?
Yeah.
All right. What I'll say about Goodnight Light is that I think there is some charm in its lack of good storytelling. I think there is some, like, fun to be found here, and I think there is something I wouldn't recommend it at all, but I would say that if you find yourself in a moment where you're watching this movie, that you can get some enjoyment out of it with the so bad they're good performances at times, with some good, like, the script is not awful for me, and there's a couple things in particular, couple specific shots, specific scenes that make me think that this thing has promise and potential, but there's too much that takes me out of it, so I have to give it a 4.3.
Oh, that's probably one of the lowest counts you've given me since we reviewed The Boogeyman with Barry Watson.
Yeah, it's not the highest thing I've ever watched. I said,
guys, it's not good.
Like I said, I'm not just $1 million movie guy. I don't need a blockbuster. It can be a fucking low budget, like, sensation, and I'll be into it. The first Blair Witch is fantastic, but this is not that. There's a lot of things about it, performances included, that I just can't get past. So, as a horror fan, I would tell you to watch something else.
Okay. I mean, I've never recommended this to people. People have already watched it.
And I've heard they liked it, so I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
I'm just giving my personal opinion.
It's not your cup of tea. I get it.
And on first watch, I was kind of into it and intrigued by it. Watching it 2 times, though, it made me really pick it apart more. Yeah. Usually, and if it's a good movie, it should make you like it more. So I think that's why I'm so against it.
Well, because you're right. The second watch through should be a time where you can sit there and basically not even enjoy everything, but be able to pick apart what's going on. And so you can only pick apart something that's stupid so many times. Yeah,
and you're like, oh, I missed this or I missed that. That's a good horror movie or a good movie in general. When you go back for the second watch, you're like, oh my God, I didn't see this. I didn't notice that. Oh, this is a little Easter egg. Oh, that's great. But when you're going back, you're like, oh, this is a fucking sloggy performance. He's saying this line the wrong way. Like every time, like, it's just, these people aren't acting. Like, it's like, you can only get through so much.
Yeah.
But I do give respect to the script and the way it's shot. The cinematography, for being low budget, I think is pretty good.
Okay.
So, you want to know what we're doing next week?
Sure.
We reviewed this a while ago, but now that we're on the U-Tizzy and the Tick Tizzy, even though I'm kind of, here you go,
right.
But now that we're on video, we're going to go back to 2019's Haunt. It's starring some really good young actors and some people that I enjoy. and it's a really good if you're a Hellfest fan, but you want a better version of that, then this is the one to go to.
Mhm.
We're gonna watch it again this week.
Yeah, like if you watched Hellfest and you're like, why didn't you use the environment more? This movie's for you.
And it's much more intimate. It's a great movie. I'm excited to talk about it. Give us a big old hooty hoo, Mindy.
Hooty hoo!
And we will see everybody next time.
All right, guys. See you next time.
Deuces.
Doses.